Hey, how you guys doing? I'm here with marketingwithanique2review.com. Today I want to teach you how to write content that sells. Before I get into this is probably the number one problem that many internet marketers have. A lot of people do not know how to write content that sells. Um, the reason for that is that they see other content with buy now links all over the place, and they think that their content needs buy now links all over the place, when in reality, that's not the case. And the other fact is we see so much advertising these days on TV, and the advertising is a different form of advertising. I mean, you're writing more on a personal level. You're not a big company. You're not McDonald's. You're not trying to say, hey, come in and eat my hamburger. McDonald's already has credibility. People either like it or they don't. Now, when people come to your site, more than likely, nobody knows who you are. So you need to not say buy now, buy now, buy now, because nobody will trust you. You need to tell people why to trust you, and you need to establish credibility within your blog posts. So today I want to teach you how to make that happen. Alright, so this is extremely important. I mean, literally, you could take a site getting 100 unique visitors a day and increase the sales to that site big time by just rewriting the content if you do so properly. Alright, so step number one is to just format the article correctly, okay? So for example, you don't see any big long paragraphs here in my article. Everything is really simple to read. Everything's broken up nicely. And for example, also, if we go to my review page here, you'll notice that everything's just user-friendly, right? It's really easy to follow. It's broken up by images. There are some nice numbering systems here, headings and subheadings. Everything's simple to follow. One other tip I can give you here before we go to the next tip is to actually align your images to the right side of the page. Anytime you align your images to the left side of the page, it makes reading the content so much harder. So your content should always be left or to the left margin, okay? Unless you're using like numbering or bullets. But your content should always be to the left. It makes things a lot easier as opposed to, I can show you a site here. What's the website called? I'm trying to think. Oh, The Bad Blogger. If we go to The Bad Blogger here, and I actually really like this blog, but the problem is, I want to show you before we jump to the next step here. You'll notice this photo's aligned to the left. It makes things a lot more difficult to read, and then he has centered text. This just makes things a lot more difficult. So what I would recommend him doing is to align his photo to the right and then left align all the text here. It will make things a lot easier to read. Alright. But still, I love this guy's blog. I'm just saying it's kind of difficult to, it's just not easy on the eyes. Like the content, that is. Alright. So to get back to the post here though, you want to format the article correctly. That's the number one key. And to get back to that point, I've been on a number of sites where I'll click the site in the Google results, and I just won't even bother reading it because of the fact that it's just so hard. It's so difficult. The formatting sucks, the font sucks, and it's just a pain in the ass. The second part of this is to maintain proper tone. Don't act like a prissy schoolgirl that just made out with the hottest guy in school behind the bleachers. Don't do it. I don't care how much this program has helped you. If you want people to buy the program, you need to be as unbiased as possible. For example, instead of saying Tony System taught me exactly how to make $1 million, you could say something like, with Tony System, I did see decent results. The more realistic you are, the more people are going to believe you. Even if you did make $1 million with Tony System, it's not always the best idea to tell people that because that's not realistic and it's not typical. Alright, so be realistic and maintain proper tone. Next thing you want to do is actually tell people what is actually included in the product. So just tell them what's in the product. What are they getting? What are the bonuses they are receiving? Are there any upsells that they can buy? Are there any other related offers that come with the product? Let people know exactly what's in the product so they know what they are getting. You're also going to want to list the benefits and the drawbacks of the product. Again, be unbiased. Instead of saying, I made $1,000 in 30 days with Tony System and I highly recommend that you buy it now, which sounds way too spammy, you're going to want to say something like, with Tony System, I put in a ton of hard work, but at the end of the day, that hard work paid off and I made some good money. You can see the difference in that, right? Again, your goal here is to be truthful, obviously, but it's also to be realistic. Be realistic and unbiased, alright? If it sounds too good to be true, then whether it is or not doesn't matter. If it sounds too good to be true, then the reader is going to think that it is. Last but not least, you're going to want to summarize your article. And a lot of people make a mistake here because when they summarize their article, they usually tell the reader what they told them, but then they tell the reader why they should get the product. But again, your goal here is to be unbiased. So you're going to want to tell people not only why to get the product, but why not to get the product, okay? Be honest and unbiased. And again, even if your product is the best product in the world, be as honest as you possibly can be, but also be as unbiased as you possibly can be, and see both sides of the situation. Last but not least, you have a call to action, and some people place call to actions all over the page. Don't recommend doing that. I recommend having one small call to action at the bottom of the page like I do here. That's the best way to make most sales. So to recap on this, guys, your entire goal here is to maintain proper tone throughout the article. And proper tone basically means that you are not trying to oversell. Be as unbiased as possible and see both sides of the argument, and you will make more sales. Alright, guys, if anything else, I'm coming at you with marketingwithanique2review.com. If you have any questions, feel free to leave your comments or check out my website. Alright, guys, thank you.